Here we go.
Hi, this is Nadira Bray on Animals Talk in the Talk of San Diego here at the Chula Vista Animal Care Facility with Linda and Tiana. And September is National Disaster Preparation Month. So we all know about the natural disaster that's happening in Texas, Hurricane Harvey. And so that can happen anywhere. We want to be prepared here in San Diego in case of a natural disaster. Sometimes we have earthquakes, fires, we could have tsunamis, we're right next to the ocean. So Linda's going to share with us how we can keep ourselves safe and our pets safe in case of a natural disaster.
Hi, thank you. This is really important. This hits close to home. In 2007, I had to evacuate, and I had to load up all my animals and find places for them. My husband did work the 2005 Katrina hurricane, so we learned a lot. And unfortunately, these type of disasters is like a wake-up call saying, hey, are you prepared? Because my thing I like to stress is, if you're prepared, that means a volunteer, a rescue person can help somebody else. So that will just help everybody overall. So we're going to talk about cats first, because a lot of times, it's just throw the dog in the car and let's go. Cats, not as so easy, okay? So at my home, I do have some dedicated shelving in my garage that I've learned from the 2007 fires to be prepared. So we're going to go over a couple things, transporting your cat, and then actually if you have to go into emergency housing or even a hotel or something, how you can be prepared and set up to have your cat stay with you. So we'll just go over all the basic litter. Cats, they need litter boxes, so here's have some extra litter. The water here that I have, this is actually water from my home, because even a change in water can cause diarrhea easily, and in a disaster, that's the worst thing that you want. You don't want to worry about diarrhea problems with your pet. So bring some water from your home, so you can start mixing it with whatever water is available for you for your pet, so you don't have any diarrhea issues. Same with food. Have at least a week's worth of food. And organizations like Petco and PetSmart are great about making donations for food, but if they don't carry, if they're not donating the food that your pet eats, once again, some diarrhea problems. So have some food. Also, I don't have it because my cats aren't on any medication, thankfully, but have some extra medication if your pet is on medication. There are some, and then of course, food and water dishes. And we are here in the cottage, so we do have interactive cats coming in here to help us out. Callie, we're going to move you a little bit. So there are some great portable litter boxes. This one folds up in a nice little carrier. This holds up to 2 gallons of liquid, so you can just put your litter right in there. And there's also the one that Emma's sitting in. That's really great. It comes with its own litter, so then you can always just take. Emma, you're going to have to scoop for us, please. So with this one, you just tear it off, and the litter's right there. Now you notice I don't have a pooper scooper, because I'm not going to worry about having a pooper scooper with me. Bring some poop bags. They're small, they're easeable. It's easy for you to just go in there and change out your litter boxes by just having a pooper scooper. The carrier for my cats to go in has my name, my phone number, my email address. So if something happens, my cats are in here, they know who to contact. I do have some puppy pads. This just helps absorb odor waste really good. If a cat does get scared and urinates or defecates in the cage, it's easy to clean out. There you go. All right. So worst case scenario, if you don't have a cat carrier, everyone has a pillowcase at home and a shoelace. So Tiana can just deposit our cat right in here.
Beckett doesn't want to do it.
We put it like this. We're going to twist the top, make sure you don't get that tail or anything stuck in. Then we're just going to tie this around. And this is a great way to transport a cat if you don't have a cat carrier. 2007 fires, I was actually working one of the evacuation centers here in Chula Vista, and a young couple, I remember, show up with a gray tabby in their arms. No carrier, nothing. Cat gets spooked because there's dogs barking and such. and a cat escaped from the owners and went up a 10-foot fence, and we had to work on rescuing that cat. So that's you don't want to have to worry about things like that. So if you see, this is a nice carrier. We're going to support our cat's body, and you see how relaxed she is in here? So emergency cat carrier, pillowcase, and a shoelace. All right, next we're going to talk about setting up in a disaster, emergency disaster housing.
What are we saying?
As you can see that she's actually really relaxed. She's laying down, and we can let her out. And you can see that she was very happy about being in that pillowcase. So there's a great, easy way to transport a cat if you don't have a carrier. And next we'll talk about setting up in an emergency disaster housing area. Okay, so you can ask me questions while I'm setting up.
So we learned about the pillowcase and the carrier. And Linda, what can we do once we got evacuated, now we're in housing? What can we do with our pets once we're there?
Well, for cats, and I know this looks like really fancy, and you can have something very simple, a flat and fold crate, a larger hard carrier like that will fit the litter box and still have room for your cat to not have to be in the litter box. I do have something very fancy, and this can actually be used for a small breed dog as well. So I'm going to set this up.
Where can you get these at?
You can just order them online. You can do a search for pet tents. Petco, PetSmart probably carries it. I mean, I've had this one for years, so I don't even remember where I got it anymore.
Really nice.
And you can see how portable it was. And once we get it all set up, and I like it because it has some extra little pockets in there where you can put your pet's medication if your pet's on medicine. Those poop bags can be stored in there. For a small dog, it actually has a little clip, so you can actually attach a leash there so your dog can be out. The thing I like about this is that it has some good ventilation. The top and this side over here has good ventilation. But also it has some solid areas, so cats don't like to be out there in the public world, so it's a good place for them to hide out in. And this is big enough to hold our litter box. So Tiana, if you want to grab that little fabric portable litter box. Ready? Okay. So we have our little portable carrier set up. This fits great in here. You still have some room for the cat to be away from the litter box, so they're not laying in the litter box. A little place for the food bowl. The one thing you may see, and especially cats when they're stressed out, they may want to sit in the litter box because that tight area helps them feel secure. And then this way you can open it through the front or through the top if you need to move your cat out. But also with these great mesh panels, you can just make sure your cat's okay without having to open it up and have the risk of the cat escaping. So this is great. I like it because it folds down, nice carrier case where I can slip everything else in. But a flat and fold crate works well. You just want to have a blanket cover in it because once again, cats don't like the stress of all the stuff going on around them. Or even a larger hard plastic carrier like we have to transport them in, but just larger that will fit a litter box in there. So that's how you can be prepared for your cat for a disaster if you need to evacuate. And just have everything together. Remember to rotate out your food so your food doesn't get old sitting on a shelf, because knock on wood that we don't have to evacuate. But you'll be all ready to go if that unfortunate disaster does happen.
Okay. And so if we have multiple cats, is this a one cat tent, or can two cats fit in there? What do you suggest?
It depends how much your cats like each other. But I think also this is a little bit small for two cats. What you can always do is you can rotate them back and forth through to your hard carrier, or you just have another one set up for your other cat. This, I would say, for long-term use, only one cat, because you want them getting stressed out and what we call redirecting, fighting, biting, hissing, scratching at each other.
Okay, and this is so great for either if we had to go into a shelter or even a motel or stay with people, because they have everything in here. They have food, they have the litter box, and then there's safe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
One thing I want to make a note for, and something that we learned in Katrina, was the microchips. We talked about microchips before. Registering them through the national database is so important. There was lots of animals in Hurricane Katrina that had microchips, but the vet hospitals, the animal shelters where those chips had originated from had been destroyed. So there was no way for the people trying to reunite the animals with their owners to get the information. So national registry databases are so important. If you have a question, if you don't know what microchip you have in your pet, come to your local shelter or your veterinarian, scan that chip, and we will get you in contact with the microchip company where you can do the national registry on.
Okay. And is there anything else we need to know for natural disasters that we haven't covered already?
Just be prepared. Just be prepared. Have everything ready so you aren't scrambling at the last minute.
All right, thank you so much, Linda and Tiana. And this is Nadira on Animals Talk on the Talk of San Diego here at the Chula Vista Animal Care Facility, which can be found
130 Buyer Way in Chula Vista. We always have great animals available for adoption, like Callie here, our little pop-up tent girl. And our adoption hours are Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 4 and Saturday from 10 to 3. Thank you, everyone.